As the All Africa Music Awards, Afrima returns to Lagos, its birthplace, for the 9th edition. In partnership with the Africa Union and the Lagos State Government, we're now being joined for a conversation around this, the importance of this award ceremony to African music and the creative industry, and how Afrima is positively impacting the music space on the continent, how African artists are breaking barriers globally, and all of that. We have Asma Ilado, who is a Kenyan journalist and culture consultant. And she joins us now live here in our Lagos studio. So great to have you join us. Welcome and good morning.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, Lissy. Good to have you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
So we know that you're on the jury panel.
Yes.
Want to ask you how first of all, how you got selected and how that experience has been, but also what you're excited for this year's Afrimas. Like we said, it's it's going to be here in Lagos tonight. Can you give us some details?
Thank you very much. I have been a friend of Afrima for, I believe, over 5 years. I started off as a music journalist and then progressed into the culture development aspect of it as a researcher and culture policy expert. Afrima is the only international platform for the continent that provides a platform to showcase the variety and the progress of the African music talent. And Afrima over the years has evolved into an institution, because now it's just beyond being an event. It's providing a performance platform, which is one of the challenges on the continent. It is providing opportunities for networking, which is also one of the issues that face artists. They don't know where to go to meet music producers, to meet sponsors, to network with their colleagues and so on. So Afrima, through the Music Business Summit this year, we have been able to bring experts from Europe, specifically Sweden, through the support of the government of Sweden through its embassy in Abuja. We have also been able to bring other experts from other African countries and other established long-standing musicians, so that they can come here and tell their stories and network and so on. Beyond that, Afrima has now solidified itself as a very important and strategic platform, because earlier this year we signed an MOU with the African Union Commission, and what this means is that Afrima is now focusing also on the most important aspect of the sector, which is infrastructure. So through the MOU, Afrima is supporting several of the frameworks that have been put out by the African Union Commission, specifically the African Union Plan of Action for Culture and Creative Industries. The Charter of Cultural Renaissance. We have the Africa Union Agenda 2063, the Africa that we want, which is an Africa where creatives are able to be economically independent and to have the necessary resources and tools to excel. And this brings me to this edition, where through the MOU we've been able to partner with the government of Lagos, and they have been very supportive with the support of also our patron, to be able to ensure that we get more visibility with the private sector. So we do understand that government doesn't have, they do have the money, but culture is not a priority. I can say, well, culture is a priority during elections.
That part.
But during these other times, culture is not a priority sector. But the fact is that 70% of young people are under 30, and more than half of those are working in the creative sector. And the creative sector is beyond just music, film, and performance.
Absolutely.
Even architecture is creativity. Design is a creativity. So looking at that, and government that is talking about youth empowerment as its agenda, needs to really focus on that sector. So this is a really good gesture from the government of Lagos, the state of Lagos, that they are seeing the potential. And I did have a few conversations with my colleagues, and I think there's also an appreciation of the dated December. That is a small pilot to show you the potential, the economic potential of the sector. It's not just supporting the artists, paying them and so on. There's other contributors of the ecosystem. There's the hotels, there's the restaurants, there's the other vendors and so on and so forth. So looking at all that entire value chain, it's very important that government starts to understand. And Afrima is providing an opportunity for even the private sector to understand the potential that they could tap into.
Very well said. Very well said. Asma, well, what do you prefer? We call
Lucy,
you
just
Lucy. Okay.
Lucy,
Very well said. I mean,
Thank
I
you.
was I attended the business summit on Thursday myself, and I was impressed that it was a full house.
Right.
You know, youths especially from many African countries.
Yes.
Artists. You know, talking about the next level.
Correct.
For the African music and African creativity in general.
That is
And I
true.
like the way that you have situated the things and the position of Afrima at this point in time, given that, yes, in the past we have had platforms like that. We have had
the Cora
Awards, Channel O,
Yes,
Momo Awards,
Trace.
Trace, exactly. But then it is Afrima's
Correct.
time.
Yeah.
What do you think that Afrima is doing well beyond the collaboration first with the African Union and of course getting practically every part of the continent involved? What do you think that Afrima is doing well, and which other areas beyond money, of course money will be key, that you think that Afrima can strengthen its role, not just as a music award platform, but as an incubator of some sort, to assist African music in general?
Yes, thank you. To answer that, I think the answer is through the business summit.
Okay.
As you rightly said, there were very important conversations, and someone in the audience did ask, what's next after this conversation? And what next is what we call lobbying, not political lobbying, but lobbying and advocacy. So through the summit, we have been able to get hold of some of the issues that are very important to the creatives, especially here in Lagos, such as intellectual property.
Yeah.
How do you protect artists' copyright? How do you ensure that the Copyright Office is collecting money, and how are they distributing? Are they distributing? Are artists able to access this data? Number two, the role of Afrima in this case would be to facilitate these discussions between the artists and the Copyright Office. Secondly, another issue was in relation to access to how do we export our talent? So that again is the role of first government, and also to facilitate those opportunities for international platforms to come here, and again coming back to Afrima, having to invite experts from Sweden working in music distribution and so on, that the artists are able to first get these connections, but most importantly understand the best practices. Thirdly, distribution platforms. YouTube is the major distribution platform, Spotify as well, but they are not our own. There's a lot of challenges, especially with monetization. So the conversation is, how do we build our own local or African, Pan-African streaming platforms, other music distribution platforms? And beyond that, how do we build performance circuits? Africans, we love to dance, we love to go out. We don't listen to, we don't sit to stream music, at least not the people that have the money, you understand? So that means that we need to build infrastructure, music venues. One of the challenges on the continent is music venues. We just have restaurants or buildings that are sort of renovated to accommodate performances. But it's time that we are fully intentional of building venues that have the capacity and train young people to have the technical skills to be able to work there. Lastly, Afrima as well, I think for me, this is one of the reasons why I am here, is the discovery of talent.
Absolutely.
One of the things that we had this year, and also introduced also later after discussion during the selection process, was that you have artists that are very talented, but they don't have the numbers, right? And they don't have the resources, managers or record label backing them to be able to market themselves and promote their music. So what happens to them, right? So Afrima, we are also going over and beyond just the submissions to try and discover new artists. And that is why we launched the Diamond Showcase this edition, and at the Afrima Music Village, they were able to perform. So it's try to identify young artists with potential, and through that take them through some sort of mentorship and connect them, those with their full potential, connect them with the right people, individuals that can be able to springboard their career.
Fantastic.
Wow, really fantastic.
Great.
It's very nice to see the 360 approach that Afrima has taken to help the creatives in this sector, because you're right, there's an entire food chain that needs to be supported behind this. But, let's talk about cultural heritage. I think that's about the only thing we haven't covered. You know, our music, our fashion, our us
food
is being exported. Our food
Our
is
jollof,
being
right?
exported at a mass rate, and you know, internationally, it's being picked up and loved.
Correct.
How can artists stay rooted in their cultural heritage? In a situation where, you know, they're chasing TikTok hits and they're chasing YouTube clicks and all the like.
Yeah, that's very important, and it also came up during the conversation. But I love the legendary DRC Congolese musician. Actually, both of them, Inos B and Koffi Olomide, they both really emphasized on originality. We always have this discussion as a jury. You have Afrobeats as a category, but then you have submissions of Afrobeats music from Kenya, from Tanzania, from other African countries. And what this really means on a bigger, overview, as you rightly said, our heritage. Afrobeats is from Nigeria.
Yes.
It's an evolution of Afrobeat and high life, and you understand the growth of
life,
exactly.
Yeah.
So if you look at it that way, if an artist from another country takes on this genre, that means they are promoting culture from another country. So the conversation is, you have to be original, and you can never, a Kenyan artist, a Tanzanian artist can never make Afrobeat better than a Nigerian artist. So that automatically disqualifies you from competing. The only way you compete is if you bring something different, and then you are in different lanes and you can compete.
Originality.
So exactly. So the conversation is to encourage young people to embrace their cultural heritage, not do it in its originality, but be more innovative on how can you take it to another level so that it is appealing to the younger people and appealing to the masses based on the current context and so on. So the conversation is that the understanding of many artists is, I see Burna Boy is successful, Davido is successful, so if I do Afrobeats, I will also be successful. So we need to take away that mentality, and it goes to arts education. The African Union last year, in November in Burundi, they passed a new arts education policy. And in that framework document, arts education must be a priority for African countries. And under that, they are teaching heritage, they are proposing different, they have several objectives, being also access to markets, being access to skills, training teachers as well, and so on. So we need to start teaching our children about our culture and heritage when they're young, so they are proud of it. Many people feel that if I embrace my culture, I am backward. It is not fun. It's not cool. But this is something that we have to instill in them when they are still young, and to also make artists understand that the only way you can beat someone, you can never beat the master. You need to be a master yourself so that you can rightly compete.
Fantastic. So it's all
Very well
happening
said.
tonight at the
Yes, right.
The show, the glitz, the red carpet,
Yes.
The traffic.
the paparazzi, everything.
Yes.
And of course, you will be there.
Yes.
How are you
inshallah.
going to be there at Afrima
No,
tonight?
unfortunately, I will not. But I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
We'll probably see the clips tomorrow on the
All right.
news.
Oh,
Welcome.
absolutely.
Thank you very much for having
Thank
us.
you. Thank you indeed.